So a few episodes ago, I promised a DAC for my brand new HiFiMan HE400 SE to hopefully wake it up and see what it's all about. So here it is, guys, the iFi Audio Hip Dac 2, and that's what we're doing today. This is really our first DAC ever on this channel. So if you're an audiophile watching this, thank you for joining us, but please understand that I suck at my job, so please be gentle with the comments down below. But I am excited to open this up with you guys. It's still taped up, in fact. We'll unbox the Hip Dac 2 together and see what's inside. I'll pull in the camera so you can have a close-up look at the device itself. Then we'll hook it up to some headphones and see what the fuss is all about. So, are you ready? Let's do it. This is one of the most banged up packages I've gotten from Amazon so far, like gouges here and there, ripped up corner. Oh my goodness. But the DAC is small, so thankfully the packaging is nice and small as well. Hip Dac 2, portable high-res DAC headphone amp. There you go, and there's a lot of specs back here. We'll hopefully get into some of them as we unbox it. Extra bass, X-Bass, balance performance, MQA. So if you're a Tidal, a subscriber, MQA is supported. Burr Brown multi-bit chipset, yes. And I wonder if that's really the actual size. That would be cool if it was. But anyways, let's open this up. Here's the blade. Let's try to safely do this without damaging. I like to keep my boxes nice and clean, so if I ever have to give some of my equipment away or gift it, there you go. And let's see, it's recyclable, so that's good, the packaging. Even the inside, the little holder for the DAC. Let's pull this out. Okay, we have documentation. Definitely read into that a little bit more. That's a little bit cheesy, but it says thank you. So this is recyclable. Before we take that out, yeah, it is actual size. This is really nice and small, but here's the warranty card, more decals. What is this for? Oh, I guess you can stick it at the bottom, so if you do lay it on the table, these little rubber feet will keep it nice and stable and not scratch its surface. iFi sticker, silica gel pack, and here are the connector cables. There's 3 of them. USB-A to USB-A male-female side, and then USB-C to USB-A. Not sure you can see that well. And then we have a USB-C, 2 males, USB-A, USB-C. So this will probably work best for my phones and devices and such. And the packaging says it's eco-friendly, you can dispose of it anytime. So all those are going to go into the recycle bin. But here we are with this thing right here. Oh wow, this thing is so small and so nice, guys. Look at this, check this out. Oh, ho, ho. They call this, is it sunset orange paint job? It's really, really nice. Oh my goodness, it's like a hip flask. It's like, doesn't it? It looks like a hip flask. It's awesome. Oh my goodness, this thing. Oh, is that the gain? That's the gain knob right here. So, oh, is that a power? So the LEDs, as you can see, have already come on. So that's good, it's charged. So this is a 3.5 millimeter output port, as well as the 4.4 output or balance output port, which is really nice. And then here on the left side, we have the power match button. This basically adjusts the power coming out of this to match the power of your headphones. We'll see if that works or not. And this is the extra bass button right here. You turn it on and off, and the light comes on. There's a lot of LEDs in this newer version, in the Hip Dac 2 versus the 1, and also in terms of colors that they use to indicate what's going on at any given time. They've given a whole lot more information just with the LEDs alone. The logo is right here. I really love the color. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. I really like it. And then back here we have the input and output, so charging through USB-C, and then that's the input for data as well. So that's nice. I love the construction of this. It's pretty decently heavy. It's like 125 grams, so not too heavy, but it's got weight to it. You can tape it up to the back of your phone and carry this with you, you know, like some people just rubber band it, and it's still portable. It's really nice. It's $190, by the way, guys, in case you're wondering. And the battery life on this, it's between 8 to 12 hours. That's a huge difference there. And it's rechargeable by USB-C. And that, of course, varies on what kind of power your headphones are, your kind of headphones you're driving, as well as the volume. And as I mentioned, this is a sunset orange. I love it as opposed to, what was it? What kind of blue was it in the first generation? Now this is the only color you get. In here, in terms of chipset, we have a 16-core XMOS. It's double the clock speed, 4 times the memory, but really it's all in the name of supporting the Burr Brown true native DAC in here, and we'll find out how that really sounds. It can power up to like 6.3 volts output for high impedance headphones, for crying out loud. And the X bass, usually you hear that kind of thing on the DSP side, digital side, but this is all analog, so it's supposed to keep like the mids and the highs still well balanced without, you know, muddling them up. So we'll see how that works too. One thing I haven't focused on yet really is the gain or power knob right here. So right now it's in its off position. When you turn it on, you hear a click right there, and the action is nice and tight. It's not too loose at all. I'm not sure if it will loosen over time, but I really like the spring action here. It doesn't have a endpoint click or anything. You just come to an end, a bump stop, and that's about it. But wow, this thing is really quality. For $190 for this kind of thing, man, if the sound is as good as what they say, yeah, I'm just gonna be keeping this for sure. I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited to test this DAC out to see if how much it wakes up the HiFiMan, for example, or if it's partly snake oil. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, once you go down this rabbit hole of being an audiophile, you start buying all the equipment just to have that extra little detail, and I think it's partly snake oil. You spend thousands and thousands of dollars, and most people, I can tell you what, can't hear the difference. They can't hear the difference because these things are really made for sound engineers. And as you know, sound engineers, not everybody can do the job because not everybody has those kind of ears, and that's a minority. So yeah, I want to test these out. I know the HiFiMans are easy to drive, and this thing is probably gonna just wake it up, but by how much, I'm kind of curious. And also along for the ride, I brought on the XM5, the brand new Sony XM5. We did it last time. And also my daily driver, the Jabra 85H, as well as, just for fun, this is the budget headphone, but one of the best out there, the Soundcore Q35. So we'll see how that goes too. The other thing I want to test out too is I have a Pixel 6, and for those of you who own a Pixel 6, Pixel 6 Pro, you know that there is a USB-C to DAC issue, that where there's a high screech noise or a lot of crashing of your apps and such. It doesn't play well, so I am kind of curious, but just in case this doesn't work, I have my Pixel 2 XL to back it up in other devices, just in case. And the last time we did this test with the HiFiMan as well as the XM5, we did 2 songs, and I'm going to repeat the same so we have an apples to apples comparison. It was Into the Mystic by Van Morrison as well as Oye Como Va. So let's do this. I think the cable that fits right now this application to connect to my phone is the female USB as well, USB-A to USB-C male side. And let's see if I can plug this in. This is gonna be, it's kind of huge. For what it is kind of bulky, but you know, at least it is small and light. I'm gonna connect this to my phone side. I'm very curious about this one. The other thing I'm also kind of curious is, let's power this on. If I turn on either of the functions like power match as well as extra bass, let me see if I power it back off and then turn it back on, does it keep the settings? Oh yes, it does. Oh yes, so that's good. Okay, so it's powered on. I'm gonna turn off both of the functions there so we can have a bass line, and then plug the cable from the HiFiMan. I keep wanting to say Sundara, but you know, the 400 SE, and see, make sure this is the left and right. I'm gonna put this on, and I already have, let's see, let me find Into the Mystic again. All right, the last time we played this song, I started from the 45, 50 something second mark, and I want to test, see how this, right off the bat. Okay, I want to say this, there is extra power. I'm at mid-range. I've have this maximum on my phone, and then on the gain on this is about 65% volume on the Hip Dac itself. And I can hear, wow, there's so much clarity and warmth to it. It's balanced, but I love how the song is. Oh my goodness. And I can't wait to get to 1 minute 15 seconds or thereabouts where the guitar plucks. I'm really curious. Now, one thing about these, they need a little bit more power, and this is what the power match button's all about. For regular headphones or consumer headphones, sorry about the sound in the background. It's really rainy outside and a lot of trucks are driving slow, wet tires and everything. But anyways, what was I saying? Regular consumer headphones, they're easier to drive, so they don't need that much power. So my guess is once I plug these in, I won't have to use power match. So power match is for harder to drive headphones like this and higher end ones. So you press that and the device will figure out how much more power it needs. It's really a nice feature, but further testing will be needed so how that affects battery life, I'm kind of curious how that works. So anyways, let's go back to the song. Let me punch up the gain or turn on the power match. Oh my goodness, that like boom. Okay, here comes the guitar. Fun grows. Here we go. The detail of the pluck. Oh my goodness. Okay, extra bass. It's a little bit woolly. I like that there's extra bass. For this kind of planar magnetic headphones, you probably need it if you want bass. But for this song, I don't see the need for it. I'll test another song later on to see if this is really appropriate. But extra bass doesn't mess up the highs and the mids. They were right. It just adds another layer of bass, just the right amount, So kudos to iFi Audio. Let me turn that off and move on to Oye Como Va. Oh, this is where the the percussion in the beginning. Let's do it. You can probably hear it through the headphones. These things like pipes sound out really loud, isn't it? Oh. Let me turn off power match. Nice. So I do want to quickly mention before we keep going. So the music files that I have, they're all FLACs running at 16-bit, if I remember correctly, at 900 something kilobits. So they're 44 kilohertz, right? Do I get the terms right? So it's CD quality, definitely not like super MQA quality. I'm gonna find files that do that and see if there's any difference and if it's discernible to my ears. I don't have the best hearing, maybe better than average, but I don't know if I can tell the difference. But yeah, I am curious now. I'm gonna plug in. I'm gonna try out. Let's do the Soundcore first. I have that plugged in with a cable. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. I know for a fact, testing this in the past, that this doesn't do piped or wired audio super awesome. It is muddied and not the best. Are we powered on? Yes. I'm going to turn off power match. So because these are easy to drive, we don't need that. I'm going to go back into the Mystic. Yeah, right off the bat, it is muffled. The imaging and separations all like right here in the middle of my head, as opposed to the HiFiMan, they're like as appropriately, they're all around my head. It's really nice. But here's more central, very muffled. And here we come to the guitar plucks. Nah. I'm not even, let me try Oye Como Va just for kicks and see how the percussion. This thing is definitely bass heavy. It's a V shape, heavy V. So it doesn't need power bass at all. Let's just for kicks turn on power bass, X bass. Nah, it doesn't need it. But because there's so much bass, it just kills everything else. So unfortunately, that doesn't work too well. All right, so that's done. Now, I am very curious about the Sonys. Let's do this. And I think it's better to power this on if I remember correctly. Okay, it's powered on. Very easy to do. Let's go back to Into the Mystic. Okay, immediately I can hear, oh, hold on a sec. There's a lot of noise in the music in this one. I can hear a lot of hissing and nothing is on, it's just the gain. Yeah, extra bass. Nah, it doesn't. Again, there's that V that messes with it. If you have a neutral headphone, if you have a neutral setup, the extra bass really helps. But if it's preset into some of these, mainstream devices, yeah, it's gonna mess it up. Unless that's your kind of thing, of course. Let me forward this to the main key part again, into the Mystic. It's good, but just like before when I talked about this, the HiFiMan just trumps this thing in terms of clarity, as it should. The XM5s are good in their own right because they have active noise cancellation, one of the best in the industry. It's just an all-rounder, this thing. But in terms of audio quality, the HiFiMan trumps it. It's better than the Soundcores, that's for sure. But the guitar plugs don't have the energy, don't have the clarity that the HiFiMans do. So, take note of that. But now, I am going to move to Oye Como Va again for percussions. Bum, bum. Savo. Ah, yeah. Definitely a whole lot more energy than the Soundcore is. Oh, this is fun. But not as lively as the 400 SE. Okay, so I am satisfied with what I'm hearing. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. And one thing I noticed too, if I unplug the 3.5mm power cord, the audio cord from the XM5, the power goes out. It's an automatic thing, so that's nice. It caters to wired listening that way, so that's good. Now the 85H from Jabra, this thing powers on by itself. Let me make sure the left and right is correct. When you twist it, it powers on, and this is one of my. Let's make sure it's powered up. I think it powered off itself the more I twist it. Okay, now back to this. Into the Mystic. Let's do this. So I made sure that power match and extra bass is off. What's the gain on this? Let's move it back to 65%, like all these we're starting out at. I'll tell you what, guys, this is just, I'm not marketing this, but the reason why I stuck with the 85H, sure, it doesn't have the best or the top of the line active noise cancellation, but as an all-round headphone, I still prefer this over, like, say, the Sony and others, or Bose 700s. These ones are waterproof, number one, and the power on-off, as you notice, I can twist it and it powers on. That's it. That's all I care about. And the audio quality through this, even, it's very close to the HiFiMan. Look at this smile. It sounds so good. This, I tell you what, guys, this Hip Dac has woken up the 85H. To the Mystic, yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh. Oye, como va? Now, come on, let's do this. Oh, the image and separation on this is so good. It's still a little bit muddier, not as clear as the HiFiMan, but what is this? What is this? I might reconsider keeping that, and I'll keep this for sure because it has woken up this headphone. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay, I want to try another song. Where is Hand in My Pocket, Alanis Morissette? This song, I'm poor but I'm kind, poor but I'm healthy, yeah. Wow, I'm blown away. Okay, I'm very curious how the HiFiMan sound. I still have the song playing, and I'm gonna plug this in and see what the difference is. Because if this, where have you been, 85H sound quality all this time? Okay. Oh, Alanis's voice. I am still blown away by vocals on this. The mids and the highs, everything is so chill, just right to my ears. Oh, I know you can spend hundreds or thousands of dollars more on these kind of things, but as a novice going into more like audiophile level kind of equipment with the DAC and just a $100, $110 headphone, I am blown away by the difference in quality. Make no mistake, the 85H in this case trumps the XM5. You heard it here first, guys. and older. This thing is about 3 to 4 years old. It's better than the XM5. Wow. Oh my goodness. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. So, okay. First impressions. I need to do further testing, of course, with battery life, and I'm going to test it with more devices and see if that changes anything and how each of these functions really work. There's some kind of voodoo magic that iFi is, does, and all the other makers too. Like, what happens when you turn on power match, and what does that mean? I like to study more about it. If you're an audiophile, feel free to comment down below. I know there are articles out there, but if you can simplify it, don't mansplain it, that would be super helpful. But just from my point of view, and also helping you as a consumer, if you're beginning to come into these kind of things, you just want to appreciate audio a little bit more than just your wireless or Bluetooth headset or earbuds. Oh, the other thing I want to test too is with my IEMs. And so that's going to be reserved for the full review. And yeah, just check it out because I am so excited, guys. This thing is awesome, $190. And I'm sure it goes on discounts from time to time, but this thing is so good. It really wakes up your headphones. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. And I know if you look at my background, I've fallen into the trap of, the YouTubers going the dungeon look, all dark and, just blue background lighting and all that. But it is raining really hard today. It's really dark and overcast. And I thought, hey, let's try this out for once. But appreciate you guys being here. Remember, if you like to see more unboxing videos like this or full-on reviews, subscribe to this channel, share it, gear up with your friends and family too. Remember to visit my Patreon page down here if you like to show your support in other ways. Remember to thumbs up if you like this video and comment nicely down below, especially you audiophiles. I know you're itching to like, hey Aaron, you didn't say this right. Nah, you don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, thank you again, guys. Remember also to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, because guess what, guys? The world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. I love y'all very much. You guys are awesome. Peace out.